doing a new little jingle in the beginning.
I'm trying to move, not to move. Okay.
Welcome to High Heels Happy Hour.
Welcome, welcome.
Hopefully, welcome back. Hopefully, you are a loyal.
Yes.
And can we say to our both YouTube and audio podcast listeners, please hit subscribe or follow
Or both.
button or both, wherever you're listening. That way, for us, we can keep doing hopefully what we're doing and come to you free.
Yes.
With all this
and share
information that we have. Yes, please share with other friends that you feel.
Sharing is caring.
That's right. That feels could use some little good nuggets, some good life hacks, some just great info. Right? Because that's what we do. We like to give great information. We like to share the wisdom we somehow get and find. And so we will today. Today we're going to talk about, holy crap, half the year has already gone by.
That is definitely
vacation.
Holy crap.
You might be on vacation right now, or vacation is over. School is about to start again. What happened? And wasn't it just January? Didn't we just make resolutions and things for the new year, set new goals, and all of a sudden we're more than halfway there? So that's what we're going to talk about today. What do we do now? Yeah. But before we do that, let's check in. How are you doing?
I am doing good.
Yeah.
Can't complain. A lot of stuff going on, work, vacation. We're trying to plan the vacation. Some dates were a little off that we wanted to go on. You kind of plan, then you get the dates and you're like, wait, Victor does work for a company. So we had it all set and they said, oh, you can't take that time off.
That's great. That's great. That's why you work for yourself.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Like,
that's why I will never work for anyone else ever again.
So other than that, I cannot complain. How about you?
Well, I'm sorry. Don't know how loud that was. Maybe that's going to be cut out, by the way. Anyway, I am. So that kind of summarized my week.
So let's start this again.
Yeah.
So Kristina.
Yes.
How was your week?
Well, it was not good. I will say that. It's depending on when this airs too. It's a lot going on right now. Not me personally, but in my extended family, there's some health issues that we had some not so good news this week. So yeah, it's not been great. Say that. I've had better weeks, but hopefully, fingers crossed, we move on. Yeah. What's your hack?
So my hack is, I try to get the children healthy popsicles. I don't know if healthy and popsicles ever go together.
Yeah, they're not too bad.
Sometimes.
Who knows?
But when you're out, they melt really, really, really fast. Mm-hmm. So I found this hack. You put a cupcake liner on the bottom part of it, and it catches some of the drip. I mean, it still might make a mess, but it does help some. So I thought that was not only I keep napkins in my car, now I keep cupcake liners.
Okay. So we do something similar in Sweden. We have a holiday called Saint Lucia, which is around Christmas. It's about lights and it's about this Italian saint, and it's beautiful. But so when you do a Lucia, what do you call it? Procession?
Parade?
No, you do like singing and a lot in churches and stuff. Anyway,
procession.
Procession.
Ding, ding, ding,
you have a lot of live candles lit, and they drip down and that really hurts, especially when you sing and you go, wow! So we all made these paper sleeves that would catch the wax.
Wait, that's not, they're getting 2 hacks now.
Yeah, well, there you go. If you're going to carry a candle, you could put a cupcake liner. I don't know if that holds up wax. Well, maybe. But anyway, so we did out of kind of hard paper or kind of cardboard.
That
We
makes
cut
sense.
these little liners with a hole, and then you put your
And you're usually
candle in.
pretty young when you do that. So the word,
Yes.
the last thing
And
you
if
want
you
is to
are
get.
the main character, the Lucia herself, then you wear a big crown.
Have you
with,
been Lucia?
Yes. And you put a wet kind of napkin on top of your head. But as the day or as it goes on, hot wax does come down in your face.
Wait,
you
just
have to suck it up.
There's a candle on your head?
Several. You have like a whole crown with live candles. Yes, it's very pretty, but beauty hurts. That's all I can say. So yes, and you always got wax coming down, hot wax coming down your face, and the show must go on. But it's not worse than getting wax on your body, waxing something. It's also hot wax.
Yeah,
Not
which
that
is
bad.
I don't do. So
Well, it's not that bad. Bella had her first wax the other day. Armpits and legs and
How
stuff.
was it?
And she's like me. She's like, that's not bad. Like, I know. It's not bad. So
we
we're
should do
just
that. An episode on waxing.
yeah, that's another story. That's another anyway. So my hack, believe it or not, is gonna be an exercise hack.
Dun dun dun.
Okay, so I found some new equipment that I just thought was fantastic. On Amazon, there's a link in the show notes. So, I've talked about this and I talked about it in the Health Proof Your Vacation episode, and I talked about it with exercise. That banded exercise are great, especially when traveling. Something very simple you can bring are exercise resistant bands, which I always do. I always travel with them. But to be honest, some of them sometimes are a little too light. You're like, oh, and you can start wrapping it around your fingers to make it tighter, and it's just doesn't do the trick. So I found these that you get 4 or 5 different strengths that have a pound associated with them. So this is ultra light, so I won't be using that much. 5 to 15 pounds. But then they come on handles, and you can attach several different bands onto the same, so you can get it as heavy or as ultra light as you want. And it comes with, which I also love, a foot attachment.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do leg exercises. So you put this around your ankle, and then you attach the band, and you can do foot exercises. And also with, of course, the door over the door. So you can use it anywhere, and you just hook it onto
That's so cool.
there. Love it. So I love the fact that it's so versatile. I mean, then because I feel that with the bands that I bought a year ago, 2 years ago, I'm sorry, I built some muscles. They're not strong enough anymore. They don't give me enough resistance.
You've already stretched them out.
Well, I might have stretched them out, but they're just not enough. So sometimes then you got to have a bunch of different equipment. I just love, okay, you need 4 different bands, but they all part of the same modules, same system. So it's easy. And they came in a little bag. So, and they're called, I can't even pronounce them. Zyazam.
We'll post a link.
It's Amazon.
So you can get your very own.
Love it. That's the Amazon find for this week. But no excuses. We travel with our bands. All right. So are we ready to jump into today's episode that we are calling Half Year? How are you really doing?
Let's do it.
And I think it's both mentally and goal oriented.
Yeah, I mean,
kind of checking in with, we set the goals. Where are we? Are we on target? Are we off? And I think this is the time, as I said, for me personally, I feel like the first at least 5 months of the year, they just go by like, oh yeah, I'm going to do all these things this year. And oh, there's so much time. And all of a sudden May's gone and June and July. So I think in the beginning of the year, we're very busy being busy. Like, oh, so busy, so busy. Or some people are always busy being busy.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, you ask them what's happening, and they're just telling you they're so busy.
Yes, and also too, where holidays, we have October, November, December,
Yeah.
and sometimes September, depending on how you
Yeah.
celebrate. And then you run into January, and you're like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so excited and exhausted at the same time." But
Yep.
then we don't realize how many holidays do we
Mhm.
have from January to June. We have holidays almost every month.
Not January to June, but
January, yeah, like
June
Mother's
to
Day, Father's
December.
Day.
Well, that's true. We have those two. Yeah.
But those are the times that people make excuses.
Yeah.
So then come around to right now, you're thinking, "Oh shoot,
Yep.
what happened was."
What happened was.
And you have to be. I think we've
Yeah.
spoken about this before, is being realistic and honest to see and feel exactly where you are. A
Yep.
lot of times we lie
Yes.
and we say, "Oh no, we still have a
That's
couple
right.
more months," and
Yep.
you'll be in the same spot you are right now if you don't do
Exactly.
anything in a few months.
So this episode is really a lot about self-reflection and kind of honesty. And because, I mean, who you can bullshit other people, but if you're bullshitting yourself, who is on the receiving end of that? So I want you to take a minute, all of us, take a minute and really, next time someone asks you how are you, and you say, "Oh gosh, I'm so busy," maybe that's not a, a validated answer, because being busy can be good, bad, in between. Doesn't really say how you're doing. So think about that. How are you really doing? It's not productive. So talking about productivity, the beginning of the year, we've done it 2 years now. We talk about the rocks, the analogy with the rocks, the pebbles, and the sand. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back to previous episodes. I think it's called "Do You Know Your Rocks?" So are you focusing on your rocks? I.e., the most important things in your life? Or are you just digging around in the sand for the non-important, busy work? So are you focusing on the rocks, or do you feel like something happened, went off course a little bit, and then it just all went downhill, and you might as well just wait till next year because it's all downhill from now, which is easy to do if you're feeling you're so off where your goal was, to rip down that goal poster and just forget about it. But no, today we're going to give some ideas on how to get back on track and kind of get more focused, and also get some new, because I like a good action list and how to, step by step. You will get that as well. So it's not just for the mind, soul, and mind. It will be some very detailed action steps as well. So it's for all the different DISC personalities. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back to the DISC episode. All right. So the first thing, where this all stems from, I will say all of these things have been inspired by other podcasts and things I've read. A lot of it is from Mel Robbins. We love Mel Robbins. She has a lot of great content, and she interviews a lot of smart people. So, and
we're putting it out there that we're just gonna
Mel Robbins.
Yes,
it's gonna be a
high heels interview.
Guest.
Yes,
yes. Mel Robbins, if you're listening, just anytime. Anyway, so a lot of this is from behavior activation therapy. And so it's not just taken out of thin air. And the idea behind behavior activation therapy is that by deliberately practicing certain behaviors, you can activate a positive emotional state. So kind of fake it till you feel it, or fake it till you do it. Kind of. So for example, engaging in fulfilling or healthy activities can make someone feel good, which then makes them more likely to keep participating in those activities. Ha! So there's a true science behind this.
Wow.
Yes. And this I read online. But it's something she has mentioned it in behavioral activation therapy. So a lot of it, sometimes it's about changing our beliefs. Because I do think that this too has not just a mindset, but also follows the calendar year. I think we have way more beliefs in ourselves in the beginning of the year. In January or December, we think we can do so much more the coming year. We're going to change all these habits and we're going to become this and that person and we're going to start going to the gym, and having worked in the gym for many years, I see that.
It's because the alcohol is involved and people get a little...
I don't know. I think it's they think that whole when the clock strikes 12 and there's a new beginning, it's like the pumpkin or the
Cinderella,
the
wand,
I don't know. But the other way around, that you all of a sudden turn into Cinderella and everything magically happens at that New Year's Eve at 12. Anyway, so we're going to talk about some other ways that you can change your beliefs. And the first thing is visual. I can't speak today. Visualization. So when you make decisions for your future self, you make better decisions. What does that mean? So we got to start acting like the person we want to become, and not just think about the person you want to become. Start acting like that person today. So for instance, if you say, well, I want to be healthy. I want to stop smoking. I want to make $100,000, whatever, fill in the blank. So what does a person that makes $100,000 or a healthy person that doesn't smoke? What are some of their habits? Well, smoking isn't going to be one of them. Yeah. But so what do they do instead? Do they exercise? Do they get up early in the morning? Do they track their bank accounts? Do they track their income to make sure they're on target to break $100,000? So some of those things, start acting like that today. Start practicing those habits of this person that you want to become. Mm-hmm. So tell me, Ingrid, what is a trait that you would like to, or a person you would like to become? Something that you have thought about, like, I want to change this.
I would like to, definitely income. So I would definitely be someone that would like to bring a 6-figure income.
Okay. So then start acting like someone. Reason. Meaning, then you make sure your work on making sure your calendar's booked, or tracking the income, or even doing an outline of how much you need to make a week in order, because it's really hard if November comes and you're not even halfway there, then you're probably not going to hit the goal. It's a little late unless
How about you?
So for me, health and strength has been one this year. I mean, I've always been, well, always, but I've been fairly healthy always. But I really wanted to be a very fit person. So I started, and I'm continuing that's something I'm thinking about. Like, okay, so a person has, the body fat percentage I'm aiming for, or that eats the way I want to eat, or is as healthy and as strong, they would do certain things. And that's why I increased my resistance training, because no, they don't. A strong person with a lot of muscle do not run 7 miles 3 times a week. Mm-hmm. No, because that is not working towards that goal. So those are some of the things.
Yeah. So what comes to mind hearing you talk is about choosing your heart. See, especially when it comes to fitness.
Yeah.
Being fit is hard.
Yeah.
But being not fit or unhealthy is hard.
And also mentally for me, that's then, oh man, then, maybe I'm not on exactly where I wanted to be or thought I would be at this, but as long as I'm thinking it.
Work.
Yeah.
You think it's almost like at the end of the day, they always say, even marriage is hard.
Yep.
Divorce is hard.
Yep.
You choose your heart.
Exactly.
And as
You
long as
choose which one you want to work on.
yes, and also too, looking at halfway check-in is again really activating your sense of responsibility. Is you are here
Yep.
due to the lack of or the
Exactly.
action of your ability to do what you need to do.
Yes. I have some at the very end. I have some
But it makes sense.
where did that go? Oh well, we get yes. You got.
I'm pretty sure she has a plan.
Yes. You got to own your actions.
Yes.
To it, no one else but you can be, and of course you can fill in all the excuses. And sometimes things do happen. I mean, if it's hurricane happens, well then we can't go out and work out.
I mean, have people that believe in you. Like if I told Kristina I didn't hit my goal,
yeah,
she would say, "Well, did you do what you?"
So here's the next thing too. Even if you don't have anyone that believes in you, or someone maybe not someone in your surrounding, or maybe you just haven't felt like you wanted to share this kind of scary goal. One thing with visualization that I said it so smoothly then, did you hear that? That you can do is to write little notes to self. So here is one super easy way to do this is to write yourself post-it notes. And I'm saying not with like, you can say you are great, but whatever things you need to kind of get a little kick in the butt, or sometimes if you're too hard on yourself, because some of us are, then you need to write something like, you know what? Start over tomorrow. Or if today was crappy, you can always do tomorrow. Or maybe you just need to have a note that says, you're beautiful to yourself when you don't feel great.
That's awesome, because subconsciously your mind will actually replay those messages.
Yep. And it can be little mantras, but don't make them so hypothetical or so kind of, you feel that they're so far-fetched that you don't believe them. Write little notes to yourself that you do believe, but sometimes you're just too hard on yourself to admit it. Like, you are smart. And sometimes you just feel like, oh, so dumb.
Or keep going.
Yeah. Keep going is a great one too. Yep. So that visual, and you put them around your house wherever you see them. Another way you could do it if you don't want to plaster your house with Post-its is take pictures of notes and use it as your screensaver on the phone. And you could do like a gallery one where you can have different screensavers and have different messages. But I think that's a great way to
like it.
Give yourself little hidden messages that are not so hidden. But it's a great way to visualize. Another way that Mel Robbins talked about, and I have actually started doing this, sometimes in order to let positivity and belief into our own mind, is to actively look for it. So she does this thing, and if you look on her Instagram, she really does it. Look for heart shapes. It doesn't have to be heart shapes. Maybe it's look for feathers, or look for something that butterflies or whatever. But if you actively are out walking and looking, or actively around the day looking for heart shapes, or whatever, fill in the blank shape, your mind will find it. It's like, it's that white car syndrome.
Yes.
If you're looking for a white car,
or just the brand.
The brand. Or if you're pregnant or wanting to become pregnant, then everyone around you is, all you see is pregnant women. So I started looking for heart shapes, and it's amazing. You can see them in the asphalt. It's like, wow, really? Because now you train your mind. So, and if the mind is trained somewhere to look for something and get that gratification when finding it, it works in other areas as well. So you kind of expanding. There you go. She will start finding money everywhere. Might not be, the papery kind to start with, but hey, that might happen too. Yeah, so that's some ways to visualize and changing your belief system. This one we love and we talk about all the time, but it's trust action, not emotion. So again, looking back at the person you would want to become, or acting like the person you want to become, what actions would this person take? It's probably not sitting on your bum.
Doing nothing.
Anything that you want to improve is not going to involve sitting on your bum.
Besides a flat butt.
Well, very few of us are looking for that. But really, again, actions, we can go back to the just saying how busy you are, being busy. Just saying something, oh, I'm going to do this, I want this, blah, 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 is not enough. Those are just words. And we had a saying we learned in Mary Kay that I think is so good. I think that's a good one to put on a Post-it. It is, the saying is, get up, get cute, get out. So that means however you feel, you just want to mope around the house, or even if you work from home and you're just feeling, oh, I feel so bad, I'm just going to stay in my pajamas all day. No, get out of bed. Don't hit snooze. Get out of bed. Get cute. Whatever, it could be cute lounging wear around the house, but something that you feel, oh, if someone rang the doorbell right now, I would be totally fine opening the door. And then get out or get going. If it's working from home, or maybe you just need to go on a walk. But get out on your Zoom call or whatever it is. But don't give yourself excuses to just stay in your house and mope around. Yeah. So action, and very often we I think this is very female, or more female than male. We like to feel how our feelings a little too much sometimes. Like, oh, should I go to the gym? No, I think I feel like I don't feel like it today. No, I feel a little sad, or a little bloated, no, you just, get over it. Just get out. Just do it.
Suck it up, buttercup.
Suck it up, buttercup. There you go. All right. So when it comes to daily habits, because we all know it's all about the daily habits.
It starts little by little.
One of the biggest mistakes we do, or one of the biggest hurdles we set up for ourselves, is that we rely on willpower and memory. So oh yes, I'm going to do this. Oh, and then I'm going to do that. And oh, I'm going to feel like doing that tomorrow. And oh, I forgot. Because we can't remember everything we just say we're going to do. So we have to start implementing systems. And we all know how I love a good system, right?
Yes.
All about this. So this is where us C personalities shine.
In our eyes.
We are great. I personalities.
No, we follow the shine. Whenever you shine, we go, oh, shine.
But you forgot why.
Yes.
You just followed. So, and this is something she talked about too, my love, is that, and it's so true. You will all know exactly what category you are. So there are two types of organizers. There's innie organizers and outie organizers.
Oh. How about
not belly buttons, but innie organizers and outie organizers. So an innie organizer tries to organize everything in her brain.
I can feel Kristina staring at me. Her eyes. Okay, so I used to be innie. I'm trying to be outie.
Yeah, let me explain. So the outie organizers have systems that are outside of you and your head, that are the secret to getting behaviors to stick. So the outie organizers make sure there is something, when something pops into the head, it goes somewhere else. Whereas the innie organizers, like, yes, I'm going to do this. And the people that go, oh, no, it's all here. I got it all here. And it's like, well, there's only room for so much, to be quite honest. We can't all keep it in our heads.
Well, we could try.
Not very successful.
No. So
Yes. So we need to start all
So you're an
being
outie.
outie organizers. Let me just say this. If you are an innie organizer, stop, just stop. And give these 5 little systems that I have a chance. Okay? Okay. Are we ready for the 5 systems on how to be a great
Hold on, let me
outie
get ready.
organizer? So outie outside of ourselves.
All right, let's go.
Yes,
Let's do
we
it.
transfer it onto something. So the system number 1, again, we're going to talk about visual things. Make it visual. So here it can be, for instance, I have an old-fashioned paper agenda that I write down all my appointments in, because that way I know I won't forget it. I will always look in my book and I can think I remember what time. Even with, I have my Google Calendar on my phone, but there's something visual about putting it in hand, writing onto a book. I mean, if you really want to do everything new school on the computer, I still recommend printing that sheet out so you have it visually in front of you. What is going to happen this week? Because I know when I think about a week, I think about the pages in my agenda. I know kind of like how I've marked. There are circles and there are squares, depending on if it's a business meeting or a personal. And so I have a good visual idea of how full or clean my agenda is. And then I can't remember all of it, so that's why I have it, so I can look at it and memorize it. Another way of visualizing and making it visible so you cannot forget is if you are going to try to go to the gym in the morning, because you want to be a person that goes to the gym in the morning. That's the person you want to be. Put the workout clothes right beside your bed. Right? So you can put them on when you wake up. And there's no excuse of, oh, I didn't know what to wear, or I forgot that I was going to go to the gym. If the clothes are right there, you stumble upon them as you get out of bed, you will not forget. And you've already done the picking of the clothes, so it's really fast. Right?
Yes.
Yes. So that is the make it visible. Now we're going to talk about the complete opposite system. It's the out of sight, out of mind system. System number 2. Because the visual cues are great for things that we are trying to do. What about things we're trying not to do? We got to get rid of those. So out of sight, out of mind. For instance, food, snacks, things, if you don't see them, if you get them out of your house,
you want to see it, you won't
or
eat
lock them in a box, you're not going to eat them. You might crave them for a hot second, but then you forget about them.
You have to drive and go get it, and you're like, eh.
Yes. Also, with if there are other bad cues that you have, I mean, it could be wine, it could be alcohol, it could be, say that you love to be on your phone for hours and hours. Maybe you just need to put the phone away. Maybe you have a habit of, I'm going to leave the phone when I sleep in a separate room or in the bathroom, whatever. And then when I get up, I'm not going to look at it right away because I don't want to get sucked into an hour scrolling. So put it away, out of sight, out of mind. Sounds so simple, right? It is. It can be. All right. So now we want to visualize. System 1 is visualizing things we want to do. System 2 is taking away things we don't want to do, so they're out of sight. Number 3, tracking our progress. Because, we've said it before, a tracked number improves. Well, it doesn't necessarily grow, because if your track number improves, we used to say a track number grows, but what if it's weight and you're trying to lose weight? Then the track number doesn't grow.
Yeah, I guess you don't want that to grow.
So a track number improves, meaning it goes at the way you want it. So when I talk about if your goal is, I want to make sure I have hit that income, well, you need to track it. You can't just go December 30th and go, what? oh man, I had no idea it was so far away. No, you need to break it down, track it. So I've told you guys several times, I've been tracking macros, writing down each day what I eat, weighing my food, putting it in a tracker. It is great. Now I know exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not that I'm eating less. In some instances, I'm probably eating more, but of the right things because now I'm tracking the number. And so, yeah, really tracking the progress. And then you want to physically report it because, again, we want to be outie organizers. So if we just keep it in our heads, we're going to forget. So you want to have somewhere where you track your progress. If it's a spreadsheet, your book, write it down, report it to an accountability partner, whatever it is. Because there's something, when you report something, a track record, there is something about a streak. That's why all these Snapchat streaks, they have
you get a bonus or a star if you do a streak of posting or everything.
That's why they're so popular, because if you start something, you want to finish, and you don't want to break the chain of progress.
The same way you want to earn your Snapchat and TikTok prizes is the same way you should be able to earn your prizes for your business and your health.
So when you track it, if I, had you as my accountability partner, and I told you about, I was going to work out 3 times a week, and then I progress report like, yes, I did my 3 times. Then I don't want to come back to you one week and say, I only did 2.
Because I didn't feel like it.
I didn't feel like it. It was raining, and I was afraid it was going to melt. So yes, track your progress is number 3. Number 4, create a plan. Who would have ever thought, right? Because failing to plan is planning to fail. Again, outie organizers, we write down a plan. And when it comes to plan, nothing makes a person more attractive or more interesting than keeping the promise, right? If you're someone who does what you say you're going to do, you're like, no, I promised you I would do this, so I am going to do it because that was the plan. That is one of the best personality traits of all times. Too many people we know never follow through.
Be a woman of your word or a man of your word.
So, and 2 things that can completely derail a plan, again, lack of planning because you didn't look at your agenda, or you didn't have it written down, so you forgot about appointments. And number 2, you didn't look at the weather forecast, which I talked about in the packing, Pack Like a Pro episode. So you're like, oh, I didn't know it was going to rain. Well, there's an app for that, right? So then you will always want to have that if that planning. So if this, will do that. If that, plan B. So I think that's a great backup system. That's a foolproof plan when you have if-then planning. And then system 5, super easy. Do the hard first. Whatever, so you choose your hard.
Yes, I was like, wait, yes.
Oh, if you have a plan, you made the plan, and tomorrow I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. This is my agenda. I have it written out. Well, start with the thing that you think you're going to want to do the least, or that's going to be will take the most out of you mentally or physically, because likelihood of you pushing it or not doing it if you keep pushing it throughout the day is greater. And then I found some great little food for thought or wisdom words from people that I found in different places. And I just like them all. And they're not in that specific category, but they're all relevant and I think can be a little helpful. So, number 1, take charge of your attention. Own your attention. I just think that is such a wise, because how often do we get squirreled into? You cannot blame your lack of attention to something on anyone but yourself. And if you do, how pathetic is that? If you can't even own your own attention, what can you then own? Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I can own and say, listen, I got side railed, but I got to own it. And I can say, I didn't think it was important for me. It wasn't obviously, I didn't feel it was important enough to keep my attention.
Yes. But, however,
Oh, I can't wait for this one. Okay.
individuals
Mm-hmm.
don't do that. It is very high. It's like a society thing to do that. I've talked to people,
Mm-hmm.
and now I'm getting a little older that I'll call you out on it.
Mm-hmm.
But before, you talk to people and they're not looking at you, or they keep on doing what they're doing. They don't give you your attention.
I'm not saying people are not doing it.
No, what I'm saying is, it's just, I wish more people actually would own
Yes.
saying,
Yes,
hey, you know what?
That's why we're bringing it up. So
My
that we
mistake.
start.
I just, and sometimes if it's not something you're interested in,
Yeah.
don't ask the question that will cue
Yes.
the person to give you
Yes, that is
something
a very good point.
that you don't care about.
Yep.
Like, don't do it.
Exactly.
Because
Because that's the
tell
worst
you,
thing,
yes.
Someone's like, so well, how is your mom doing, or how is that one
And you
doing?
don't
And you
care.
start talking, and they don't even look at you. That's
I literally have
Yeah.
stopped talking to someone.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
why did you stop? I'm like, you're not even listening.
No. And I will say what I've started doing, which is maybe not super popular with the person on the receiving end, but I'm owning my attention. Is if I'm sitting doing something and someone come ask me and want to talk to me, or the kids want to show me something, I say, I can't do that right now because I need to finish this and concentrate on what I'm doing. I'll let you know. I'll come get you when I can look at it. And it can be like, oh, mama, look at this great TikTok I did, or look at this video and this cute, or look at this photo of these things, or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Before you're like, yeah, oh yeah, cute, yeah, great. You're not paying 100% attention anywhere. So now I've really started saying, I can't do that right now. I'll do it in a minute.
What you're doing is perfect.
Yeah, but sometimes, especially kids, they want to show you right away.
Unless,
Look.
unless I've told my three, unless you're bleeding,
Yeah,
and need something in like an emergency, just let me finish, because I've learned I can't do 5 things at once.
No,
Like,
none of us can, because then we do 5 things.
Wrong.
None of them very good.
Yes.
Or none of them very well. All right. So yes, own your attention. Start paying attention to your attention. I love this one too.
Me too.
Yes. You are in charge of 2 things: what you give and what you accept. How deep and profound is that? So you're in charge of what you give others, what you hand out, how you approach others, how you are with other people, but you're also responsible for what you accept from other people.
That is like 5 episodes in one.
Yes,
because
maybe you need to.
That's really, really
put that on your post-it. Like, you don't need to accept that.
No, that's. I mean, we can go on forever, ever on those 2,
but it's so true. So you're not just that you're in charge of how you act, but you're also in charge of how you react to how others treat you. So very important. Again, it's the same thing with owning own your own emotions. I love this one. So good.
This is like
boundaries are not walls to keep things out. They are bridges to let things in. How good is that? I can't even remember who said that, but it was so good.
Maybe Ingrid. I'm just kidding.
No, well, you can say it after now. Use it. So instead of thinking that you have to say no to everything, just because you put up boundaries around yourself and your time, it's really not just putting up brick walls. It's about making sure you have bridges to where you let things in, so that you can accept the things you do want, but keep out the things that kind of rob you all of the above mentioned items.
Yeah.
But I love that. Okay. This one was, I can't remember if she was a efficiency person or something, but she said, and I think some of us have this tendency, dishes, laundry, grocery shopping, etc., exists on an ongoing cycle. They're never done or undone. Because sometimes you feel like I've cleaned the house, I put away all the dishes, uh, all the laundry's folded, and you're like, it's done. No, that was just one part of the cycle. It's all gonna come back again,
It's a
right?
hamster wheel.
And then we feel like, oh, it's never ending. Well, it's not, because we can't live without groceries, dishes, laundry. It is part of the wheel. So don't think of it as done or undone. You're just in one state of the cycle.
I think I saw this somewhere, and I told Victor because he helps me with the laundry, or he does the laundry.
Yeah.
And he said, "Oh, I'm never done." And
Yeah.
I said, "Actually,
I
you're
know.
right."
So that isn't that great? And the same thing with the laundry. I did all the grocery shop. No, it's an ongoing.
Yeah, do it again in 2 days.
Never stops. And if it stops, that's not a good thing.
No.
So I think that's very helpful when you feel like, oh, there's always a pile. Well, there should always be a pile. That means that people are healthy, wearing clothes, working out, and not just staying in bed.
You get your 5 minutes of like, hey, this house is clean. Just sit for 5 minutes, because at minute
Take
7,
a picture and then move on.
At 7 minutes, it's a mess again.
And this one I love too.
Mm.
Be loyal. So this is in line with the own your attention. Be loyal to your pace. Pace as in PACE. Because we've all tried to do things on someone else's timeline, or we do something comparing ourselves to someone else's timeline, and we feel we fail because we didn't do it on their timeline. No, you got to do it on your pace. Maybe, so think about a race. Like, we could be slow joggers or fast runners. Well, you can't think you're going to win or even get close to the time a fast runner get if you're just a slow jogger. But own your pace, or be loyal to your pace. You did it. You did the same distance. You just did it at your pace. That's the important thing. Don't try to run the race on someone else's time.
Unless you do the work to get there.
Well, then your pace is going to change. Then your pace can evolve, but don't try. And something with timing, with everything. Maybe it's, someone is ready to move or quit a job or do this and do that, and you're not ready. Then you got to do it on be loyal to your pace. I think that's a very good lesson. Those were my words of wisdom for today. So yeah, quick recap. We need to act like the person we want to be. We need to visualize more that person that we want to be. And we're not going to act on emotion. We're going to act on actions. And we're going to be outie organizers and not innie organizers. And we're going to use our 5 systems of make it visible, get rid of the crap, get rid of the bad stuff, track your progress, create a plan and a backup plan, and do the hard first.
And with the backup plan, just be prepared too.
Yeah, but that's what backup plan is. Okay. It's preparation.
Well, that was fun.
That was good, right?
Yes.
So, hey.
To becoming outie organizers.
Cheers to outie organizers. Until next time. Bye-bye.